Polka Dot Fixes Kindergarten by Catherine Udall, illustrated by Mai S. Kemble. For Polka Dot's whole life, Grandpa had fixed everything. When she tore her favorite dress, Grandpa mended it lickety-split with duct tape. When she smeared her ladybug tattoo, he scrubbed it off with runny soap. When she fell into the prickly bushes, he covered her legs with dotted bandages. Grandpa had fixed everything, but starting today, Polka Dot was on her own. Today, she was a kindergartner. "Are you ready?" asked Grandpa. Polka Dot peered into her fix-it kit. Duct tape, runny soap, dotted bandages. It's just like Grandpa's. Polka Dot zipped her kit and stuffed it in her pocket. Now she was ready for anything. When they reached kindergarten, Grandpa gave Polka Dot a goodbye squeeze. "Keep that kit handy." The teachers shook Polka Dot's hand. "Hi, Mrs. Jackson." A girl with a striped dress tugged at Mrs. Jackson's elbow. "Just a minute, please," said Mrs. Jackson. The girl's shoulders slumped. Then, fast as a flash, she stuck out her tongue, right at Polka Dot. Polka Dot pretended not to notice. Mrs. Jackson pinned a name tag to Polka Dot's sweater. It said, "Dorothy." Polka Dot scrunched her nose. "That was my baby name. I'm Polka Dot now." "Oops," said Mrs. Jackson. "We can fix that later." Polka Dot jiggled her fix-it kit. Grandpa would have fixed it right away. Before Mrs. Jackson turned to the next kindergartner, Polka Dot handed her a bouquet of dotted pencils. Mrs. Jackson smiled so big Polka Dot could see a gold tooth. The striped dress girl gasped out loud. And then she whispered in Polka Dot's ear, "I was going to bring her pencils. You're a copycat." Polka Dot felt her cheeks turn pink. She looked away so that the girl wouldn't see. Mrs. Jackson called everyone to sit in a circle. "I've taught kindergarten for years and years," she said. "I'm as old as the moon." Soon it was Polka Dot's turn to talk. "My name is Polka Dot, and I like dots and spots." The striped dress girl waved her hand. "I like stripes. My mom says they make me look grown up." "Please wait your turn, Liz," said Mrs. Jackson. "That's a kindergarten rule." Liz glared at Polka Dot. "Polka dots are for babies," she whispered. "Stripes are for me's," thought Polka Dot. "Time for art," said Mrs. Jackson, after everyone had a turn to talk. Polka Dot sat straight up. She loved to paint. She painted blue clouds across the paper. "Blue is a boy color," said Liz. "I'm not finished." Polka Dot jammed the brush into the red paint. "Blue brush in the blue cup. That's a kindergarten rule." Mrs. Jackson's lips made a skinny smile. "We don't want to spoil the paint." Polka Dot yanked the brush out of the cup. "Oh, no, no, no." The brush was dripping purple on the floor. Polka Dot felt her face turn red hot. What would Grandpa do? Speedy quick, she reached into her fix-it kit and poured runny soap on the spot. The spot just grew. "You are so messy," said Liz in a really loud voice. Mrs. Jackson looked straight at Polka Dot and Liz. "Unless we have something nice to say, we don't say anything at all. That's a kindergarten rule." "My mom says it's good to tell the truth," Liz whispered in a shaky voice. "And you did make a mess." Polka Dot covered the purple blotch with her foot. She would not use the paint again. Not ever. "Time for recess," said Mrs. Jackson. At recess, Polka Dot stared through the fence. She could not wait to see Grandpa. She would tell him kindergarten was bad, bad, bad. She would tell him the kids were mean and the teacher just cared about her paint. Polka Dot reached into her fix-it kit. She stuck 6 dotted bandages on all different spots, but she didn't feel one bit better. She couldn't fix anything. Slap, slap, slap. It was Liz jumping rope. Polka, polka, polka dot. Where's a dress that's for a tot? Polka dot squeezed her eyes shut. Do not cry, do not cry. Sneaking a hand into her pocket, she rubbed her fix-it kit. A piece of duct tape could stop Liz's mean mouth, but Mrs. Jackson probably had rules about duct tape. Polka dot took a tiny step towards Liz. Your mouth is mean, mean, mean. Every time it opens, more mean words pop out. Liz stepped back, smack into the fence. Look at what you made me do. I'm stuck. Liz gave her dress a yank. Rip! I see London, I see France, said one of the boys. Uh-oh, thought Polka dot. He's going to say it. Underpants. Don't say it, cried Liz. She tried to cover the rip. Polka dot looked at Liz's watery eyes, and the anger leaked right out of her. This time she knew for sure what to do. She took a deep breath. I can fix that. While Liz squeezed the rip together, Polka dot stuck on the duct tape. Liz rubbed her toe in the dirt. Thanks, she finally said. You're welcome, said Polka dot. Liz glanced up. Your name tag is wrong. Mrs. Jackson said we could fix it later, said Polka dot. Liz stared through the fence. If my mom were here, she'd fix it now. Polka dot sighed. So would my grandpa. The bell rang and the class marched inside. Liz pulled Polka dot to the art corner. I have an idea. Liz cut out dots and Polka dot squeezed glue on them. Together they made the fanciest name tag ever. Mrs. Jackson smiled extra wide at Polka dot and Liz. She handed a polka-dotted pencil. This time I'll let you write it yourself. After kindergarten, Grandpa was waiting at the door. This is Liz, said Polka dot. Grandpa shook Liz's hands. Stripes. Snazzy. Dots are okay too, said Liz. See you tomorrow. Grandpa nodded at Polka dot. Nice job with the duct tape. Squeezing her fix-it kit, Polka dot stood tall. Now I can fix almost anything. The end.